So how can layers communicate with each other, since we understood data layer alone and UI layer alone? So in order to communicate between layers and each other, we will need to understand how the transfer of data happens. So we will start from the data layer here. The data layer will send the UI view model through the view model. So the data layer will communicate to the UI through the view model, updating the data. And this data will be given to the view model. The view model will take this data and update the UI state. And after updating the UI state, the user interface, which is a composable function, will take this update and update the screen. And if something like an event happened, like a performance of a click, this will trigger an event. This event will be sent to the view model. The view model will notify the data layer that there's something has happened, and he will notify the data layer, and the data layer will take whatever has happened and takes the data from the UI layer and give it back the result to the view model, and it keeps going on and on. And this example is the same as the documentation presented in the UI layer, and I highly recommend reading the UI layer and domain and data layer. So for example, this example is the same. We have our data layer, we have our current data, app data, and we communicate with the view model in the UI layer. The view model then updates the UI state, which triggers the UI elements updating, which is our composable function. The composable functions, which are UI elements, will trigger an event, here UI event, which triggers the view model, and the view model will notify the data layer through the state change. And the data layer takes the data and updates the application data and sends back to the view model. And the view model updates the UI state, then the new UI state is visible to the UI elements, which are composable, which will be presented on the screen. And that's how our architecture works. And this kind of flow down event up is called unidirectional flow, and this is the flow which are gonna do. And that's it for our architecture. I hope you understand it, I hope you benefit, I hope you see you next time.